It's season 7 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat with Anna and Selena. Selena is the owner of Howley Socially Inspired. She's our Hawaiian rock star who loves all things tech and says coffee is her love language. Anna owns Nomad About. She's the adventure-seeking copywriter who loves a good road trip and has a passion for supporting military spouses and entrepreneurs. Join Anna and Selena weekly to listen in on hot topics that will build your brand, keep you current with best practices, and help you grow as a business owner or entrepreneur.
Hi, and welcome to season 7 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat. So I have a question. Do taxes make you tremble with fear? There have been a lot of changes to business tax laws over the past couple of years. A proactive CPA is going to recognize, capitalize, and honor your business goals to support your small business growth. So is your business ready for a CPA? Today, our guest, Caroline Beasley, CPA, is going to be talking about how to identify when your business is ready for a CPA, how to find a proactive CPA, and how to be 2022, that's this year, tax ready during today's 15-ish minute coffee chat.
Hey, happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, our first episode of the season. And I already love Caroline because why not? Like, she made a funny joke in the back like that it's boring, but it's not boring if you have like the right person. And I think she absolutely is. So anyway, I'm going to just tell you what is our call to action. And I'm just curious, do taxes make you tremble? Because they absolutely make me like blinders, ostrich, like, you know what I mean? Like the head in the sand. And so, I was saying that the very best investment I ever did for my business when I was able to, because obviously it's not always like you right out the bat, you have one, but when I could, it was the best, scariest investment I made, but it was the best one. And I'm so glad. So we have a fantastic person to start off the year because guess what? It's time, you guys, to start getting all those things together. Right, Anna?
I know. It's tax season. That means that over the next few months, you're going to have to be putting together your business taxes. And if you've never done it before, it's kind of a nerve-wracking thing to know whether you have it all put together because there's serious consequences that follow if you do it wrong or if you miss something or if you fudge something incorrectly or if you misread a tax law. So like Selena was saying, having somebody on your side like Caroline is going to be super helpful. So we're excited to have her on today because she's going to give us some tips to find the best type of CPA for you and your business.
Absolutely. Right? Let's go ahead and bring up her bio so we can actually, let's do it, Anna.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, here, hold on. You know, we also said that today feels like a very Monday, Tuesday, if that's a possibility. Anyway, so I'm going to read Caroline's bio. She is graduated from University of Florida's online MBA program, number 5 in the USA, by the way, in April 2022, and ready to use her particular skill set to help business clients thrive. Hi, this is who you need on your team, people. Somebody that wants that. Caroline is a certified public accountant licensed in both Florida and California with more than a decade of experience in public and private accounting. Operating a virtual-based CPA practice allows Caroline the chance to help clients in many ways because CPAs have mobility in most states. Born and raised in Central Florida, she received a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Greensboro College in North Carolina. So there's more, but this is a phenomenal person. I'd rather bring her on so we can let's just do it, right, Anna? Like,
I'm gonna bring her up.
Yay! Hi, Caroline.
Hey,
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, can you answer this question? You're not a boring person, I actually have found. So we can make this interesting today, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of people think that, taxes aren't very sexy. And for some people, yes, absolutely. Yeah. But for the right kind of person that's looking for growth and to really see what their future holds, talking about taxes is really important.
Caroline, I feel like you need to have a shirt that says like making taxes sexy. Like that needs to be a new tagline.
Sure, let's do it.
Because that would definitely pique my interest to read more. Okay, you guys, next is a business idea is fun tax shirts. coming from Caroline's website. Like, right. You know what I mean? Why not?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so before we get started, we'd love to do a little bit of a selfie with Caroline because this is our thing. Selfie. So coffee cup, if we can, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's dive in because I want to make sure we like utilize most of our time today properly. So you're gonna see Caroline's face shift around because we want to what do you call that? Spotlight.
I mean, she is sexy behind taxes, right?
Yeah. Man, I wish we had this conversation. I would have made the description like making tax. I want to say Texas. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to shush my mouth now. All right, let's dive in. Anna, go ahead and shoot off the first question we have.
Okay, so when we meet with a guest and we have them provide us information, we always ask them like, what is it that they really like? What's their top things that they want to talk about? And so we loved Caroline's because it was a whole new take, at least for me, on what the world of a CPA is. So my first question for you, Caroline, is what is a proactive versus reactive CPA?
So that's a really great question, Anna. Thanks so much for asking. A proactive versus reactive CPA is really all about, okay, reactive person is someone that's going to do your tax return once a year. They're not going to ask you, what you see in your future, right? Kind of like what I just spoke about. They're going to be focused on what happened in the past, and then they're going to prepare your tax return, and then they're going to deliver it to you and be like, hey, pay this number. A proactive CPA is not anything like that. A proactive CPA is someone that's going to want to have a relationship with you in the long term, right? They care about where you're going in the future, not just a year from now, but 5 years, 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. Someone that's going to show you the ropes, right? You talked about how taxes can be scary, or, keeping your own books as a business owner can be scary because you're not sure. But having a proactive CPA there to help you along the way is going to educate you on what you need to do. And then that's going to help you understand, oh, well, I invested this much money in advertising. Am I seeing enough revenue growth for it? Yes or no? And things like, 1099s, who do I need to send them to? And when do I need to send them? Why do I need to send them? And then what does your overall growth for your business look like, right? Mm-hmm. Are you in this just to make, ends meet? Or are you really trying to grow and scale? And that's where it's proactive CPA will work with you hand in hand, quarterly, monthly basis. But somebody that's going to really have that long-term relationship with you is a proactive CPA.
So I'm curious, is this a normal skill set? I mean, is this something they teach you to do in CPA school, right? Or is this like kind of like a personality-based thing?
I really think it's personality based. A lot of public accounting firms, tax prep firms, they're focused on how many new clients can we get in? And I just want to churn out tax returns between January 31st and April 15th, and then I'm going to close up shop. And if that's really all you need, all you're looking for, okay, great. But a lot of other CPAs are out there that really want to kind of tag team with you and see you grow. So I do think it's a lot of personality and a lot more of like, how are they managing their practice as well? Do they have a ton of clients that they see in the first quarter of the year? Or are they focused on growth and they're spreading that out so they're providing a better service?
Yeah.
I think that's the best part, is providing a better service and having that long-term relationship with your client.
Yeah, that's okay. You heard it here, guys. I mean,
well, it's interesting to me. Like, it's not a skill set that they're saying you should do this necessarily. Like you were saying, there's a lot of businesses that are like, just finish my taxes for the year. That's all we need from you. Versus other people that are like me, that I would want a proactive CPA. I would want someone helping me, because I'm not a financial expert, right? I mean, I'm going to look at some things and make assumptions that could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Based on somebody who heard it. Yeah, I know, right? You heard it here. I do get things wrong.
Honestly, I do have a few clients that send me a message. Hey, I heard this on TikTok. Is this right? And I'm just like,
Kate, you just made me feel so much better because guess what I do with mine? I send her a TikTok going, is this right? And she the first time I did that, she was like, at first I thought this was spam because I wasn't sure. And then I realized, oh, she's legit. And yeah, okay. See, guys, it is a thing. Okay, this is not even in the set of questions. Would you say some of the people on TikTok that are the CPAs giving advice, have you seen some of them? Do you feel that they're legit, like to follow? Like, what are your thoughts?
My thought is that every person's situation is 100% unique to them. There's no such thing as one single mold for everyone. And your situation is going to change from year to year, right? Maybe you got a new job, or maybe you had a baby, or you got married, or maybe a loved one died who was a dependent on your return. Like, there's so many different things that can happen. Yeah. The thing with people out on, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, I'm on all those except for TikTok. I'm an older millennial, so my skill set is not quite there, and I'm fine with that. Thank you. But the thing with that is to take it with a grain of salt and ask the question to your tax professional or your CPA or your EA, your tax attorney, right? So most of the time we can take a look at that and be like, yeah, it might apply to you. We'll just see what happens at the end of the year. So, it's TikTok. Take it with a grain of salt.
Got it. No, it absolutely, that's for everything you see on TikTok, right? But okay, you made me laugh because I'm like, oh, I do too, Sen. So I'm like, okay. It's a thing. It happens.
We're going to jump back to the proactive and reactive CPA. So now that we kind of know the difference between the two, if you're looking for a proactive CPA, what kinds of questions should you ask when you're talking to or interviewing CPAs for your business to know that they're going to be that type of a CPA for you?
Right. So I guess I would probably say, again, we come back to that personality, right? When you meet with someone for the first time, you're going to have that instant, okay, am I getting a warm and fuzzy, or is this more of like a business professional setting, very cold and calculated? And then from there, depending on which avenue, that's going to depend on, okay, what questions are you going to ask? I guess for me, being a CPA and knowing what I know in my brain and, building those relationships up front with my clients, it's easy for me to tackle that question first, right? And I go out and I tell them, hey, if you sign on with me, you're not just getting me for a year. I mean, if you want me to just do your tax return for a year, that's fine. But I want you to know that I am here throughout the year. When you have questions, I am ready, because my view with you is, again, long-term relationships. So I tackle that up front. I would like to urge any other CPA colleague out there to do the same, because that's what sets our practices apart from those cold, calculated, very high level technical CPA and CPA firms.
Yeah. You made me imagine like my mom's CPA way back in the day. Like we're talking like the 80s. Like I would have to sit in the office with her as she did it. And he was just like that. And in Hawaii, we don't really wear suits. We wear aloha shirts, but his aloha shirt was buttoned all the way up there. And he had the glasses. Like back then, the glasses referenced you were smarty pants and all the things. So, okay. I love that. I love that, right? How, I love that you jump in, and I'm just loving mine so much, like even more now because you're validating all the things. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the things I think is really important here is to recognize that, like I would say the stereotype of a CPA is less friendly in that sense than what you've described. In my world, at least, the stereotypical CPA gets your stuff done, knows their finances, tells you yes or no, and you just do what they say because they know what's best, right? And there's not that super friendly relationship. But I'm loving this kind of, maybe it's not new. Maybe I've just been so out of it, like in the CPA world, but I'm loving this new, like, almost like this new version.
Yeah. Anna, they're using sexy and taxes in the same sentence now. Do you know what I mean? So
can I just like reset the standards for all CPAs now? Right?
I think you should.
They have to be personable and forward thinking, and providing more of a service rather than a product that is a tax return.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like, especially with all the softwares out there, the TurboTaxes, H&R Block software, you don't even have to go anywhere. You can do it online yourself, which DIY is fine if you have, one source of income. You're not doing any investments. You don't have real estate property. You don't have a business. Like if you want to use online software, great, but that is product based, right? What CPAs should be providing are services. We provide a service, and that is to show you where you could capitalize on opportunities with tax law changes and things like that, and grow with you rather than just, punch in some numbers. Okay, here you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Okay. I wanted to share with you, Caroline, my last doing it myself moment real fast is I did do it, and I did the version where you can actually TurboTax, where you can ask the accountant, like, so that they live tell a live you. And we had just PCS. If you're not in the military and watching this, that just means we moved from one place to another. And it was in the middle of a year. We moved from one state to another state that doesn't do state tax return. We bought a house, all these things, right? So when we had asked the accountant, hey, we're military, we're this, and this, they knew just enough, but she had to look up something to respond to us about the military factor. And for me, I thought, ooh, I bet you I'm not even optimizing all the things right now, because this person doesn't specialize in the military realm, which there are a lot that you guys know about that. So that was the last year, because I just knew, I was like, I need to find somebody that understands our world plus the accounting world, and the two together will just make it right.
Yeah. So I do see a lot of clients that come in for the first time and say, hey, I have a W-2, or I've been working, or my partner or spouse, whatever, has been working too, but we have all this new activity this past year. Can you help us? Absolutely. And that is my opportunity to wow them with service so that they stay on even after that big, transaction year happens, because more things will happen with them in the future as they continue on with life. They're going to buy more property. Maybe they're going to think about investments, maybe real estate, or going into business with someone. So having that relationship, even in that first year where you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing, I think I really should commit to someone at least once, give it a try and see if that relationship sticks.
Yeah.
That makes so much. I mean, yes. And I will tell you, like, the first month of me working with me, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. And because I was like one of the last clients that she was taking on, because we were getting ready for tax season. And she's like, okay, well, bring me all the things. And I was like, oh, I am organized, but I kept saying, give me 2 days. I need to put it all together for you. And she's like, okay. Anyway, okay.
It's like when you hire a house cleaner and you clean your house before you get to the house cleaner actually comes, right? You're like, I gotta get this all in order so it's understandable, and then I could do it myself, but nope, we're gonna hand it off then at that point.
Or you literally run and hide and make sure you take every family photo off the wall so they don't know how dirty you really are. So if they see you out in public, you're like, you're not embarrassed. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. But
we tidy up before the maid comes too.
Right? Totally, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this. Okay. That was great. I love those answers to the questions. And encourage anybody, if you are watching now or even on the replay, like, drop a question and we'll make sure we get it to Caroline. So if you have a question about proactive and reactive. All right. What is our next question there, Anna?
Okay. So our next question. So clearly not everybody is ready or capable, financially able to hire a CPA. Your services are super awesome, but they don't necessarily come cheap in that sense. And when I say cheap, you know what I mean? I mean DIY.
Affordable.
Affordable. Yes. I think you can find an affordable CPA. It's just more like you have to budget it in. So for business owners that are not ready to hire a CPA, can you give us a tip that you would advise them now so that they are 2022 tax ready? Because April 15th is coming up way faster than any of us, I mean, on the 14th, I'm always like, dang it, why didn't I do this sooner? Right. So it's coming up soon. And then if people procrastinate like I do, then, what's a tip that you would give them to really be ready?
I guess I would probably say, get your bank statements in order and create your profit and loss statement if you're a business, right? That's where I see most clients needing a CPA. But if you're not ready to commit financially, then I would definitely say, get all your bank statements together, look at what your transactions are, and categorize them, right? So you have your income. That's pretty simple. The deposits coming into your bank account or what have you. But then you kind of have to categorize what your expenses are, because there are a few perks for tax deductions. And so from that angle, how would you know which tax deductions to take? Well, most DIY software is pretty smart. And so it might have a pop-up that says, hey, how much in meals did you consume at restaurants on location for business purposes? Those are subject to 100% deductibility. Oh, okay, well, I already compiled all of these meals. I did keep my receipt. I wrote down on the back of my receipt what the business talk was about and who it was with. So I know I have justification to take this deduction. Boom, that's my number. The hard part about DIY is that you have to do it all yourself, right? So you have to take the time to get all of that information together, and you have to put everything in its buckets. As a CPA, when I do get a new client on, I ask them, did you use personal money for business expenses? Oh yeah, I definitely did. Okay, well, what are they? Because I can't read your mind, right? So in that case, you still have to take your time to carve that out. In which case I would say for 2022, for the year, take that information that you're using for tax prep and start anew for 2022 to make good accounting, putting your ducks in a row so that you're not scrambling at the end of the year, just like you are possibly now. The other good thing is when you really start to get in kind of like a jive with making sure you have good books and records, accounting statements, things like that, you can really start to see, oh, I spent all this money on advertising. Am I seeing an increase in my revenue? Yes or no? Was this purchase worth it, right? And so by having good accounting books, if you will, you can make better decisions in your business. For people that have rental property, right? Maybe they put their house, they moved, PCS, right? Lots of military do this, and they set up their home for rent. I would strongly recommend a CPA. And the reason why, not because I don't think you can't do it, it's because, again, there are certain tax deductions that I don't want you to miss out on. And I don't want you to accidentally maybe put a wrong number in for, how much did your house cost so you can take depreciation expense. There are some percentage rules that you need to watch out for. I've helped a lot of clients clean up their information from prior years to make sure that they're maximizing what they get out of owning a rental property. So DIY is okay up to a point. If you can find a way to fit it into the budget, do it.
Yeah.
Paying money now will save you time so that then you can go make more money, right? Time is money, right? So
I agree with you. I am not Caroline's client. I 100% can tell you what my life was before my CPA and after my CPA. And I breathe easy. And you know what? Yes, it's expense, but she has actually made me more money.
Mm-hmm. So would you say, Caroline, would you say that it's like, is there a certain threshold of income you're bringing in where you should really start to look for a CPA, or is it really have to do with activities that maybe your business is doing? So if you're service-based and you're making less than, say, like $50,000 a year, is that like kind of like, you could probably still do it without a CPA? Or if you're product-based and then you own property on top of that, it doesn't matter what your income currently is. Do you know what I'm saying by that? Like, is there a threshold?
I would probably base it off more of like an income threshold rather than an activity threshold, because, you know, I have some clients that are retail based and they have large product sales. So therein lies not only income tax, but sales tax reporting, right? And especially with the tax legislation that came through a few years ago out of South Dakota versus Wayfair in Nexus in all these states, we have to be mindful of that. So it gets complicated when you're in a product-based industry. For services, it's a little bit different. But I think maybe your threshold of maybe income would be, sure, maybe around that $50,000. So gross revenue of 50K. The other thing you need to start thinking about too is, again, growth. I'm always looking into the future with my clients. Where are you going with your business? Are you planning for retirement for yourself? Are you contributing to retirement funds? Right? You could get a tax deduction for that depending on the type of plan. And also, you know, again, we talked about you have your business expenses. Are they making you money now and in the future? Where do you see it? Also, business entity structure, right? A lot of tax attorneys, business attorneys will like to talk to businesses about, are you a Schedule C, sole proprietor? Are you an LLC? Have you incorporated? Are you an S corporation? There's a lot of tax savings jumping from a Schedule C to an S corporation. So really, when you start to feel good about your business, I would say look forward to the future. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Schedule a consultation. If you schedule a consultation, most CPAs sometimes will do them for free. I do paid consultations, and then we can identify opportunities for you to capitalize on, and some things that we see in the industry, not just maybe if you're retail products or service-based, but also in your state, right? So a lot of CPAs join their state society of CPAs. So we get economic information from the state where they see growth in certain areas. So there's this whole other world that you could see when using a CPA. Again, I think it comes back to just finding that good fit.
Yeah. Man, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, my head is bobbleheading like crazy. It's like, yes, oh my gosh, yes. Like, it just makes sense when you are financially able to commit to bringing somebody on into your business. I'm such an advocate for it right now because one of my bosses used to say, like, oh, save a penny, lose a dollar. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, I don't know if you ever heard that, but it was like, because you're so focused on saving this one penny, you're missing out on the dollar that you could have. I might be saying that, but it's very it's like save a penny, lose a dollar. I'm gonna look that up just to see if I said it. It's like that though. It has to do with a dollar and a penny, but you can't like save. Yeah. Anyway,
I think that's a great analogy, honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, most of my clients, they come in and, you know, my billable rate or my package service, it's not the cheapest out there. But what I'm able to do for them is set them up for success, find them ways to save them money and give them suggestions. Hey, I really think you should consider bumping up into an S corp. You're going to save, 15% on self-employment tax because you make 100K, and then you'll have more protection. Obviously I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice. You need to reach out to a business attorney, and it opens their eyes to where they see themselves in the future. And I think a lot of my clients are military spouse entrepreneurs, and that's a very hard area to be in simply because we move around so much. I am a military spouse entrepreneur. I get it, right? And that's why I like to cater to those type of clients, because I want to see them grow despite the fact that we uproot our lives every 2 to 3 years. It is so hard, but there's a lot of opportunity there too. And I don't want this particular niche to lose out on that just because they jump around, right? So
yeah. No, and I think that's the important thing too. So if you are a military spouse, right, and you are looking, ask them if they are affiliated with the military, because they'll understand things a little bit more. Like Caroline just said, you don't have to sit there and explain it. Oh, every 3 years we do this, and then I do this, and then we also do this, and then I'm also in a state that does no taxes, and then I'm also working in another state that gave me a W-2, but shouldn't I not be paying that as a military spouse because there's this law? I don't even know what it's called, Caroline, but you know what I mean? You're almost telling them, but if you find someone like yourself or like mine, it's it's always there. It's because it's your specialty niche, right, in this world, of knowing that stuff. So
so two things that I take from this. One, when you rattled off that South Dakota law of something that did something over here, I'm like, okay, already I'm out of my league. So that's number one. But number two, the thing I really loved was your comment of, where are you going to be in 5 years? And it really feels like when you're looking in your business, like I had never, honestly, until today, I had never looked at having a CPA be part of a growth strategy. I always looked at it maybe reactively, where they're the people that come in behind and clean up your finances for you at the end of the year. Not that they were part of that process of building and growing your business. So I really appreciate you changing that mindset for me today, just with what you've been talking about. I mean, like I said, I've lived in this stereotype of what a CPA is and does for you, and you've completely like wiped that clean, and I'm starting over.
Great.
I love it.
I think really, again, the military life, it's so hard and complicated because we move around. And, when a service member comes up to retirement too, that's a huge change, right? The world just kind of upends itself. And well, what, as a military spouse, if you've been working here and there, how have you been contributing to your own retirement, right?
Yeah.
So I poke and prod my clients on that, right? It's not always like, I won't say that it's always sunshine and rainbows working with me, but I am challenging them.
Yeah.
Challenge them to think about the future.
Right.
What does their retirement look like too? Because this is their life too, and they could have opportunities in the here and now to contribute to that, which might provide a tax deduction, and then they're setting themselves up, right? So
yeah. And can I just say, as a military spouse who just went through retirement with her husband, with her soldier, that is so true. Like we had to, like everything changes, people. Everything changes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not even just military retirement, but military retirement has its own special, unique things. But man, when you go from that steady job income and kind of the military supplementing and taking care of certain things for you that you don't even think about to, oh, we have to do what?
Yeah.
Oh, we have to have what? Oh, I didn't even think about that because it's always been incorporated in some other aspect of military life. And so, huge. I love that. So many reasons. We've now listed so many reasons. I'm going to really quick, I have to go through these things. These are her 3 tips that I pulled when she was talking.
Yeah.
Get your bank statements in order, create your profit and loss statement. That's if you're DIYing. Do that this month or no later than next month.
And if you don't know what a profit and loss statement is, just Google it right now, because it is essential that you know as a business owner what this is.
Yes.
Very important.
The second one was capitalize on deductions. So be looking for those deduction options that you have. If you have a CPA, ask them about it. Make sure you're proactively pushing your CPA to help you find what those might be. And then the third one, which I really loved, is that when your accounting books are in order, it makes all those marketing and growth decisions easier because you see where you were able to grow, like what the profit value was for each of the activities that you did.
Yeah.
I loved that one. I thought that was such a good, smart tip.
This is why we have like amazing guests that come on, you guys. So it is nearing the end of our show, so we're gonna segue, but we want you to still continue to follow Caroline wherever she is. And so I'm gonna pop this up and we're gonna have her tell you where you can find her. Go ahead, Caroline.
Right. So my website, cybcpa.com. It's my initials, Caroline Y. Beasley, cpa.com. I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. My hashtags are there. I'm also a member of the Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs. So I just dived into that channel, and I'm looking forward to meet other military spouse entrepreneurs like myself. I also work with the U.S. Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce. We're looking at different sorts of, tax advocacy, things like that for spouses who are living CONUS and OCONUS, continental United States versus outside the continental United States, meaning international. And yeah, I just would love to connect with anybody that has any questions, and I'm genuinely happy to help where I can.
Yes. I connected with her on LinkedIn last week, and very responsive. So she's there. I'm more excited just to continue to learn more. Yeah, I'm going to say sexy taxes every single time. Sorry.
Right. Yes. So I went ahead and I popped in the U.S. Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce link in there. Mm-hmm. I popped in Caroline's AMC member profile. So if you are a military spouse entrepreneur that wants to connect with her through AMC, then go ahead and do that. And the last one I'm going to pop into the comments section is going to be the Women-Owned Small Business Federal Contracting Program. And Carolyn had given us that link as well. So if you're a women-owned small business, definitely look into this. I actually have benefited from this. Mm-hmm. There are federal contracts, and they have to hire certain, I guess, minorities is what would be considered women-owned businesses and diverse in businesses. So definitely look into becoming certified for that.
Yes. Yeah. That's one of the
And I think on the WASB, it's through the Small Business Administration, right? So a federal government program. And when people think about federal contracting, honestly, what comes to my mind is engineering, like building plants, servicing ships and doing things on site. But there's so many other programs, right? Mm-hmm. There's military therapy, family therapy sessions. There's, on base gyms and things like that. Yeah. I'm looking at collaborating on base at our local base.
Yay.
Financial stuff. There's a wide breadth of opportunities. So
yeah, that's awesome. My God. Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. So please continue the conversation with Caroline. Go visit her. It is all there. You cannot not find her. So no excuses. Tell her sexy taxes and she'll know exactly where you all came from. You know what I mean? So, okay. Right? It's the first of the year, guys. We created this little cute thing last year and we thought, you know what? Anna was like, you need some affirmations. You need to still feel good. You need reminders. And so Anna and I got together, made some fun little affirmations, and we included a Spotify playlist that you can play while you're working the hustle, doing all the things. So go grab it there. There's a link somewhere. Anna will probably pop it in. It's just our AnnaandSelena.com/our resources. So that's that. And then we love to finalize our show with a tip from a CPA, which I'm sure Caroline is going to be like, yes. So make sure to read your odometer on your car from January 1 to 12/31. Just a little reminder. It's January. Yes, it's 11 days past, but still start now. Better than nothing, right? Better than starting in July.
Absolutely. Yes. So go back and read it now, write it down. If you do any kind of travel in your vehicle for business, you're going to want to have this. This is one of those, I guess I'd call it a deduction, but I don't know that that's the right term. You probably should talk to Caroline.
There are actually some really great apps out there that will track your mileage as well. So Mile IQ is one. If you have QuickBooks, there's a mileage app tracker there too. So don't be afraid to use technology if you want it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a super fan of technology. You give me anything, I'm like, yes. All right. And Anna, here we are. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so next week, January 18th at 10 o'clock AM CST, we're bringing on Yvonne Combs, who is with Operation Deploy Your Dress. And this is a nonprofit, but has multiple locations all over the United States and maybe internationally. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about if you're a small business or a nonprofit that has multiple locations, really like what kinds of things you need to be thinking about for that kind of thing. So we're excited to have Yvonne come on. And then as always, you can find Anna and Selena on any podcast platform, Facebook, Instagram, not TikTok yet, but we're going to get on there. We each have our individual TikToks. You can go find us on that.
Yeah.
Come and find us, connect with us, especially on LinkedIn. We love to connect with people on LinkedIn. And if you want to hear something specific during the 15-ish minute coffee chat, just throw us a note so that we can find the perfect guest, somebody like Caroline, to bring on and wow your business world.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. All right. Caroline, thank you so much. We appreciate you for coming on. Have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you
so much for having me.
Absolutely. Bye everybody.
Bye.